make it be different. It's a process that, doing the work that it's, you can feel it happening. I mean, I've been in this group for a long time. I can feel it happening in the group. Everybody has moved along the process in their own time. And we're getting closer, but nobody can tell you, wait, I got it.
But one day we will. One day, the culmination of those choices, and the course calls it the happy dream, we will come to that moment where I got it.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same as the contact.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Put your trust in the process.
Yep.
That's all he's asking us to do.
I like that image too, of just, you wake up and you realize
Well, I mean,
I'm God.
you know,
But I'm,
Right. Yeah. And that's again, I don't want to interrupt you, but that's even where the concept of karma, where people will say, well, I have to play out my karma. Well, if you get it, there's no value to karma anymore. It's done. I
Right.
got it. So yes, it might be part of the process, I guess you could say, but it's about waking up. It's not about I got to do reprimands for all the things I've done wrong.
there's a deer that's.
No, yeah, they play over there a lot of times. Yeah.
Came to listen to the course.
Yeah, they come around sometimes.
Everything you've got on there, on that side, it says nothing happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says.
And the only way out of this world is through forgiveness.
Yep,
It's the process.
yep,
Everything you come upon,
yep,
it's not real. You let it go.
yep.
To the best of your ability, you don't stand there and fight it.
Nope.
Forgiveness is still and quietly does nothing.
Yep.
And it doesn't judge.
Exactly. All right, all idols of this world were made to keep the truth within from being known to you and to maintain allegiance to the dream that you must find what is outside yourself to be complete and happy. So basically what this is saying is, and if you think about it, once we chose for the ego, the job was to maintain the separated state. That was the purpose. So do you think the ego is going to say, wait a minute, I'll go do something else? The ego's job is to feed itself, to maintain itself, and to stay involved with being what you are here.
Rooted here.
Keep us rooted here, which
And
was
why-
our choice. And, we talk about the ego. Sounds like this big bad guy is roaming around in our lives. It was called the ego that's going to keep us over there. This was the choice that was made and reinforced
It's a thought.
since the Big Bang as a thought. And that's what's been running the show. So now we say, wait a minute, show me another way. And sometimes we get a reflection, sometimes we don't, but it's working whether we do or not. And then we quickly pop back here because this is very comfortable. This is not comfortable because I want to be in the dream. That's kind of nice. I have power. I can do things in the dream. Outside the dream, that's kind of an abyss right now. So it's it seems like a slow process because I have to adjust to this is really a much better place than this. And right now, we're just not at that place yet.
What you got used to as you leave.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
More and more used to it. And now to get, out of it, you have to be annoyed enough or.
Usually that's the way.
To want to need another thing, and then that other thing can't be another on your to-do list. It has to be a sense of peace, a sense of there isn't anything else to do.
Mhm.
Like what's gonna happen now? Well, I don't know, because I'm gonna ask the Holy Spirit and I'm gonna sit down and wait. Get that vibration.
And I have to be willing, go through the process of being angry or upset or whatever you do in regard to a situation. But then you have to come to a place where you're willing to be shown that even though this unequivocally feels like the right answer to me, that maybe that's not correct and maybe he has a better answer. And
You know what really makes sense in chapter 30 where he tells us you make no decisions by yourself.
mhm,
Tell yourself when you think of it, the kind of day you want. And you can have that.
Yeah,
You
but,
can make no decisions.
right, but a lot of people, even when they read that, they go, okay, I want to have a party today and I want everybody to be nice to me. Well, but what I'm saying is, even if we don't understand when we're reading that, we're gonna get confused.
Exactly,
Yep.
because you don't want to do that.
Well, because you don't know any better at that time, I guess would be.
Well,
Eventually you
We
do.
know better now.
Well, we
So,
definitely know better
we
now.
still
Yeah, we
have a
still would
little
rather.
dangling
Yeah,
crumbs.
without doubt. All right, so paragraph 7, let us forget the purpose of the world the past has given us. How many people, and I've shared this before, when I used to go to CCAN, he would do a chart like this on chalkboard. And at the end of the class, he'd start erasing it, and I could remember the sense of him, how dare you erase me? That's how strongly we are associated with our dreams and with my beliefs and this character called me. I don't want to be erased. So when he says, let us forget the purpose of the world the past has given us, be aware, I don't want to give up the past. I want to bring it back and dance with it and, share it with my friends and whatever. And again, as you're doing that, just kind of look at yourself, smile and go, oh, I guess I'm not really ready to let go of the past. But he's inviting us to do that.
You're
So
afraid you're not gonna have anything.
just absolutely.
You don't really have, you don't know what there's not,
Well,
peace and,
you're right.
and well-being is not a thing. It's.
Well, you
Yep.
wake up one day and you say, I don't have anything right now.
Yeah.
So who are you kidding?
Well, but we don't believe that yet either. I still think there's wonderful value in this deteriorating, getting old, falling apart body and world. And I think it gets to the point where you have to become convinced that this really isn't all that
Slowly.
hot a deal.
Slowly, Mary Ann.
Very
and
slowly.
quietly.
It's your decision.
Process will bring us to that point.
Yes, yes.
Enough.
It's
Yeah.
another decision. You
Yeah.
make a decision to ask another thing. What else? Where is this? If this isn't making me happy, what is it? Where is it? And you'll go to the other place and you'll wait till you get a different idea. So.
But you have to want it more than you want
And you
the
have to-
other. Yeah.
If you're between jobs or between whatever you're between, you have to go to that place where you can get quiet and then have to figure out what the
Be quiet
choices
on
are.
your own.
You get the choices, this is it, this is all I've got, either got all this shit going on, or I got something else that might be more helpful. And, everybody in their right mind would try to choose the thing that if they got a clue that something else was there, then they would try with that.
Right. So again, I'm going to read that line. Let us forget the purpose of the world the past has given it. Here's a wonderful line you're going to love. For otherwise, the future will be the past, like the past, and but a series of depressing dreams in which all idols fail you one by one, and you see death and disappointment everywhere. But we don't believe that yet, because
Yeah, one by
there's
one.
there's enough shiny coins still left in our world that we still chase after those shiny coins. And as somebody said in the group, by all means, keep chasing those shiny coins, because each one of them will eventually fall or fail. And then you'll
And
finally
we
be
will cry.
convinced, and we will cry. Eventually we'll realize, you know what, this isn't working.
That's right.
Being in charge is not working unequivocally, not just once in a while on Monday and Thursday. It doesn't work.
See, I had one advantage. I knew alcohol. When I quit,
I
it
agree.
didn't work.
Yeah, but it took a long time to get to
That's
that
right.
point. Yes.
There's a lot of
I
people
said, it's a process.
There's a lot of people that knew alcohol that could not possibly ever give it up anyway, even though they hit a wall. So that's
Yep.
just a choice they had. Now you make a choice
Just
for
a choice there. Mary.
towards something they didn't.
Part of the
know or
script, that's
fail.
all it is.
Yep.
It's part of the script.
So I'm going to read this again because this is a powerful statement. All right, let us forget the purpose of the world the past has given, for otherwise the future will be like the past, and but a series of depressing dreams in which the idols fail you one by one, and you see death and disappointment everywhere. Again, Jesus is telling you, duh. And as Ken would say, stop betting on the horse that's at the start line that's dead. Never going to run and win the race. And that's what we're doing. And, you know, as I said with that salesman concept, you know, we're introduced to this information over and over and over and over because we're so unacclimated to accept what this is saying. I've been playing this part, unbeknownst that I'm even playing this part, from the Big Bang on. It's established. This is brand new, different, and very, you know, totally the opposite. And I do want to bring to mind that this little dot here is outside of the dream. This is when you wake up. Notice there's a bed here. We're asleep dreaming this. This is our goal, is to get here where I'm outside of the dream. All right. Okay, a little more. Paragraph 8, to change all this and open up a road of hope. I always thought it is cute. A lot of times he'll do the first part of the paragraph that's like, and then the last couple lines, he goes, okay, I'll give you a couple of good things to maybe you'll read the next part. Okay, so this is paragraph 8. To change all this and open up a road of hope and of release in what appeared to be an endless circle of despair, although it could be circus, you need but to decide you do not know the purpose of the world. You give it goals it does not have, and thus do you decide what it is for. You try to see in it a place of idols found outside yourself, with power to make complete what is within by splitting what you are between the two. You choose your dreams, for they are what you wish, perceived as if they had been given you. Your idols do what you would have them do and have the power you ascribe to them, and you pursue them vainly in the dream because you want their power as your own. And I think that's got a little more juice than I thought it would. We'll take a break there, and I think we have a birthday party coming, so we'll take. Okay, so to change all this and open up a road of hope and of release in what appeared to be an endless circle of despair, you need but to decide you do not know the purpose of the world, period. And we know the familiar quote, and I'm never upset for the reason, I think, in workbook number 5. And I found another one that's very similar to that, which is workbook 25. This says, I do not know what anything is for. So I don't know what the purpose of the world, I don't know what it's for, and I'm never upset for the reason I think.
The one before the 25 is I don't know what's
In my best interest, right?
Best interest.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, he's saying to change this, to bring this into a different direction, we have to come from the place of understanding that I do not know what the purpose of the world is. Now, a lot of times people in different spiritual teachings and whatnot will try to deny the body. And the Course is very specific that the Course wants us to use our body, because that's how I know how I'm responding to situations in my world. So use that to realize, I think I know something. And then when you can, stop and recognize maybe this is a call that I empty that space so that I can be shown what the answer is.
That's the whole crux of all of this,
Absolutely.
is to make room for what he's saying.
Absolutely. And it's like the Zen coffee or tea party or whatever they called it, where they're trying to pour more tea and the tea is just falling all over because the cup is full. We have to come with that empty cup.
It amazes me what he set out in the beginning lessons. It's so amazing.
Yep.
He's right on the money.
Absolutely. Yep. And he keeps telling us exactly where we are. So why should we feel guilty about finding out where we are when he knows where we are?
No, that's
You already
what,
know.
for me, I take the prodigal son and I take the father. that he exemplified. in that
Absolutely.
parable.
Yep.
Just, I mean, if think somebody really loves you and accepts you for who and what you are, what would you do for them?
Yep.
Do for yourself.
Yep. And who's the problem? Is it God because he kicked us out?
Hell
No,
no.
it is us because we chose to take our stuff and leave.
That's right.
And now we have to evaluate where we are to question, is that where I want to
I
stay?
mean, when I was a kid, I saw myself doing a lot of the shit
Sure.
that I blamed myself for, with God.
Yep. Yeah, but this is about turning the light around on me and questioning, where am I
Right.
sitting? All right, you give it goals it does not have. And why do we, or how do we give it goals it does not have? Because we set up a whole new world. It has nothing to do with this world. This world does not have anything to do with this world. So I make up the rules that keep this going. So you give it goals it does not have, and thus do you decide what it is for. So I give it the goals and I decide what it's for. All the while, this is not where the answer lies at all. It's not where the problem lies. It's not where the answer lies. And I spend all my time running around, trying to figure out, change, fix, manipulate, whatever, my little world that is not who I am or what I am. And again, Jesus is trying to help us understand how unequivocally different and in opposition to our story, his story is. And again, never from a point of reprimanding or pointing a finger or getting out the whip that you did something wrong or you're bad or anything. Simply, this is not going to bring you home. Do you want to go home? Drop the story that you're holding. You try to see it in a place of idols found outside yourself with power to make complete what is within by splitting what you are between the two. So as long as, and this is explained and described in the course in a variety of different places, it now feels like there's two choices, the choice for the ego, the choice for the Holy Spirit. And the course very frequently then will say, it appears there's two, but in truth, there's only one, because truth is truth. But while you believe in the illusion, you are going to have the experience that there's two choices. So that's what he means, what you are split between. You choose your dreams. And what he's saying by that is we chose to separate. We chose that experience. For they are what you wish, and they are what we wish because we chose this instead of this. So that is the secret wish. This is what I want instead of this.
Everything out here, we set up that way, the
Everything.
senses to portray
Yep.
exactly what I wanted.
And it's working. Yep. And so the undoing of that is to use what the ego set up to do
for a
something
different
different.
purpose.
Yep. Perceived as if it had been given you. So in other words, when something in the world appears to attack me, disturb my peace, it appears that it came from outside me. I'm an innocent victim of whatever it is that showed up.
And that's where we give our power away.
And that's where we give our power away. And that's not where the problem lies, because the problem lies up here. And that's why the workbook lesson, I'm never upset for the reason I think, because I always think I'm upset because of something that's going on in the world. And in essence, I'm
Right.
always getting upset because of the choice, not the
Stupid cheating.
effects. So when we're working on the process of letting go, when you find yourself in the midst of some difficult situation, spend some time getting quiet and questioning what is an answer beyond my answer. And I think, I don't know if it was some scientist who said you can't find the answer in the same level of the problem. Does anybody know that one?
Yeah, that's it. So you
Is
can
it-
find the answer in the same,
Yep.
same level as the problem.
Well, especially since
Right on.
there are all these layers. Yeah.
Even when you ask to see it through Christ's vision, you have no clue. I mean, Christ sits back and he doesn't see what we see. You know, either the situation is giving love or it's calling for love.
Yeah.
There's only one answer, love,
And that's a good place to
in
practice,
everything.
right? That's a good place to use your practice. Am I giving love or am I not giving love? And even with that, it's very tricky because you see, if I think I'm right, I think I am loving. But it sometimes takes a while to, open up that can opener to realize that I'm not really being loving. I'm really being very attacking by the way I'm responding to a situation. So,
Wait for fear to abate.
Like if you're trying to convince somebody of something.
yeah, like when you try to do that and you're absolutely right and they must be wrong and therefore you better prove it to them. Yep. Let's see. Yeah,
I'm
very
good.
good. Well, we're all good at it. We're
all good at that?
One money. It has
Yeah,
to
oh,
be.
you're right.
So
None of us are different.
that's the point.
Yep. You mean, it's like we have to, right, it's like we have to soften to another way. And we're not, it's like when we go through with the tunnel vision of the ego, there's no other way than my way. And as we begin to remove the layers, slowly we become aware, wait a minute, I'm not as loving as I thought I was, which is a good thing because then I can do something about it.
Yeah, I was having that conversation with my Christian friend.
Oh, I bet you were.
And I wasn't the aggressor in the conversation. I said, okay, I don't want to talk about this for today. And he kept sending me, messages.
Just like you used to do. Go on.
Just like I used to do. Do that. But I could see myself in the whole thing because he wouldn't stop. He kept sending me, messages and
Yeah.
Hello,
videos and
self.
support and, here I want to talk about it now. You're not letting me talk about it now. Talk about it now. I finally found somebody I could talk to. This was his kind of thing, where he wanted to have a debate. And I could see that I've done that. I've totally done that before.
Where you found your witness to support your belief.
I've totally done that.
Yep.
I'm reformed.
Right, no, right.
Off the hook about it, because
Yeah.
and that's enough peace to keep me like quiet and not argue with it. I go, oh, I don't even care about that because I know what I know and I'm not better than you. I just somehow don't feel the need. That's what it is. That's what peace is. It's a unique thing underneath your, you go, oh, I don't even really wanna, I don't care. You feel like
Yep.
talking about that,
Well, I
whatever.
do want to have something to do with it, but just not now. I'm telling you, not now. You can't stop.
All right,
So
so
that's the
your
title.
idols do what you would have them do, and that's so important to understand. As a result of the choice for the egos, my idols are doing exactly what I want them to do. And you have, let's see, and you have the power you ascribe to them. Because I want the idols to be the center of attention. I don't want the idols to go away. And this. And we think we don't. We can sit here and say, I don't want this, I don't want that. But the facts are, if I'm choosing for the ego thought system, I not only want, but I need them to be there to encourage me to continue the fight. And again, it takes two to have a fight. So if we're having, what's that, pulling the rope, tug of war. If I'm having a tug of war with somebody and I just throw up my hands and go home for dinner, the other guy's going, man, what's going on? We weren't done with this game. That's how we
can't have conflict unless you got that second part.
We absolutely, it's impossible.
Mhm.
All right, so, and have the power to ascribe them. And you pursue them vainly in the dream because you want their power as your own. So we want to perpetuate the illusion, even though I, as Mary Ann, can sit in my chair and say, no, I do not want them. On some level, deep within, with this thought system in place, I absolutely require them to be there so that I can play this
You know,
part.
the problem is, we bought into the, ego story.
Hmm.
And that's not how God doesn't pursue us. Or
Nope.
want to get even with us. He doesn't even know we're here.
Yep, that all came as a
That's-
result
That's
of
that's all
that.
coming from the
Right.
myth. The
Yep.
ego's trying to set us up with.
Yep.
That's why I said, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
But that's been the problem, is that whatever you think has become your idol and your way of coping with life. And so you have to actually turn the whole thing completely around from, they talk about peace all the time, peace talks, there's always these peace talks and so and so. And the basic thing is that everybody wants peace, but they think it means that they get what they want.
No,
They
They
don't,
don't-
of course.
that's what they think, that this is how it works, is you're never gonna have peace if we do things your way. Or then the others are the same way, but the thinking and that cemented into that thought system has just stopped everything in the world. The world becomes that place where everything is wrong. And, you want to talk about peace and you're bombing everybody. What does that mean?
Yep.
Well, I'm right.
Yep.
But that's
Being right is wrapped in lots of different colored
I mean,
strings.
that's as good as it gets for them. There's no way out of that. How then I respond to that world is something that I have control over with God. Otherwise, there is no control.
Yeah, but the court says in your defense, lies your safety.
Yeah, we're gonna
If you
work on
have
that
control,
section one of these days.
You have it all
Well,
defended.
to the world, it sounds like somebody bombs you, and you just like play dead and go away. You don't, that's what it implies to the world. But really, what kind of life do you have when you've been bombed and you're bombing everybody back and it just keeps going on and on and on? So either way, that physical body isn't gonna be happy with that situation.
A lot of people like a rush. That's
Most
why-
people like a rush. All of the people like a rush. All
that's
right,
what
paragraph,
It's all about.
Yeah, but they think, because they think they're right, that's what their payoff is, but it's not working for.
That's the rush they get.
Yeah. So as long as they feel they're getting a payoff and getting a rush, then they have no rush to come over and see what we're doing. So
That's right.
that has to be the way it is. for
right?
them.
You have to remember, Jesus kind of stood on his own. There were a lot of other people on the other side.
So, that
All
other
right.
stuff isn't, no matter how right you are, when you're at the end of the day and you go home, you're like wiped out. But if you're with God, you can go on and on. You have more resources than.
Yep.
You don't need bombs.
All right, paragraph number 9. Yet where are dreams but in a mind asleep? And can a dream succeed in making real the picture it projects outside itself? Question mark. Save time, my brother. Learn what time is for. And speed the end of idols in a world made sad and sick by seeing idols there. Your holy mind is altar unto God, and where he is, no idols can abide. The fear of God is but the fear of loss of idols. It is not the fear of loss of your reality, but you have made of your reality an idol, and you must protect against the light of truth. And all the world becomes the means by which this idol can be saved. Salvation thus appears to threaten life and offer death. So I'm going to read that paragraph again, but just that last sentence, it's like we've got everything mixed up and upside down when we believe the ego thought system. So yet, where are dreams but in a mind asleep? And I know we bring up the concept that you can be chased in a dream, your boss can fire you, but you wouldn't go into work the next morning and yell at the boss because he fired you in your dream. Because we know it's not real, it didn't happen. But in our daytime dream, we feel extremely justified to have a defense for our boss. And a daytime dream and a nighttime
It's the
dream
same
are
idea.
actually the same.
Forgiveness lets it go.
Yep.
Nothing ever happened.
Yep. And can a dream succeed in making real the picture it projects outside itself? And the answer is absolutely, positively no. But we don't trust that. We don't believe that. That's not our experience at this time. Our experience is, what do you mean this isn't real?
Senses tell you
Absolutely.
exactly what you
All
want.
my senses confirm that this is real. And I've been living in this process since since the first
Wow.
breath. Yeah.
Yes,
So what do you mean I have to turn this all around? It makes no sense whatsoever. Save time. And here's Jesus, please listen to my words. Save time, my brother. Learn what time is for.
it's a thought.
Yep. And speed the end of idols in a world made sad and sick by seeing idols there. So he's, kind of suggesting to us that we look at this differently if we really want to find changes in our experience, and to keep looking and becoming aware at the futile attempt to make this world a better place.
You see a world of 2 + 2 is 4. There's no way to understand that.
Hmm.
Nope.
No, but if you start to observe our world and become aware that no matter what happens in this world, it's just not a very nice place. And yeah, maybe I'll get a new car, or I'll get a new this or that, and I'm happy for 5 minutes. But there's always that very quickly slide down where the new car, I have to go park it somewhere really far away, or and my insurance going, the whole deal. There's never just a split second where it appears to be good, but then comes with it all the negative that comes. And to become, to really look at how frequently that becomes our reality. Because I think, oh, I got something, yay, this is wonderful. Just like that, it's down the pike.
Gone.
Down, yep. All right, and your holy mind is altar unto God, and where he is, no idols can abide. And I really like that line because, the concept of keep it empty, where if I'm coming to God, I can't let any of my idols come into that space, because
That's
that
right.
kicks God out.
That's why you empty your mind of everything.
Everything. Yes. So again, let me read that line again. Your holy mind, and I like that idea, he's reminding us, you have the holy mind. Of course, it means this one, not this one. Your holy mind is altar unto God, and where he is, no all idols can abide. So again, that concept of emptiness and letting a different concept find its way there. The fear of God is but the fear of loss of idols. And we certainly have a major fear of the loss of idols, especially and beyond most other idols, this little character that I think is me. And
you're afraid.
oh, sure.
When you have to drop an idol, you're terrified.
Yep. And I think the beauty is he constantly talks about the little willingness. Are you willing in this instant to bring it empty and not bring the idols with you? And as such a gentle way versus jumping in the pool completely. Just this moment, this is the only one I have to worry about. It is not the fear of loss of your women. It is not the fear of loss of your reality, but in a lot of ways, we think it is the fear of the loss of my reality because I identify so much with who I am. But you have made of your reality an idol, which you must protect against the light of truth. So I can't have my idol, even if the idol is this character called me, and approach the light and invite it in. And all the world becomes the means of which this idol can be saved. In my belief system of the separated state, I think if I chase far enough or go long enough, I am going to find an idol that will save me here. And you're never going to. And again, if you ever have question, go back to this particular area, because he's reminding us unequivocally, it can't be found here, guys. I'm sorry. You can search all you want, but it's not going to be found here. And all the world becomes the means by which this idol can be saved. Salvation thus appears to threaten life and offer death. And that's such a challenge, because we're so geared in this thought system for the answer to be found in the way I think I know the answer to be found, that to totally let that go is a process. And understand that it's a process, and understand you're going to choose occasionally and you're going to forget it many times, and then you'll choose again. But as you keep working through the process, you're going to choose a whole lot more frequently, and you're not going to be pulled into the illusion as deeply. But to get to that point requires many steps of practice. Paragraph 10. It is not so. Salvation seeks to prove there is no death and only life exists. The sacrifice of death is nothing lost. An idol cannot take the place of God. Let him remind you of his love for you, and do not seek to drown his voice in chants of deep despair to idols of yourself. Seek not outside your Father for hope, for hope of happiness is not despair. And he's saying, it is not so. The way we've been doing it is not the answer. Salvation seeks to prove there is no death and only life exists. And life exists only in heaven, not in the illusion. We know that everywhere we turn in this world, the trees, the leaves fall off and they die. I turn a page and it dies to allow the next page to come. The morning and evening, the new day. And then, of course, these wonderful bodies that we know will pass as well. That's the existence we have chosen against the existence of love and eternity.
Imagine choosing that in order to prove God wrong. Just imagine.
Well, because I wanted to be God.
Yeah.
I replaced God with myself with that choice. And I think that one of the greatest values of the course is that it, line by line depicts what we did, why we set it up this way, and that it's not working. Till we're convinced it's not working, we're not going to go anywhere in this.
It introduces what else we can do.
Well, and it introduces what you can do.
What's
Yes.
your choice? What is it gonna be?
Yes. So the
Before
sacrifice,
you didn't think you had a choice.
right. Well, we didn't know you had anything. You just,
You didn't come with a choice.
No.
You came with, oh, this is what I have to do because so-and-so said so. That was the thinking. So now the book has introduced us away from, 2,000 years of Christianity and all that stuff.
well, it's longer than that, but yes, in our
And
experience,
we
yeah.
introduced us to an option for the truth because somebody really wanted it badly enough to ask for it.
Mhm.
And, to say there's gotta be another way, and then that's what seems to make more sense. It isn't even that it's, whatever it says, it isn't like coming at you with a doctrine. It's giving you free will, it's giving you these choices, and he's spreading it out for you to see what do you think now? And then go, well, if I want to be peaceful, then I have to go with the new thought instead of the one that I was taught years ago or however.
Yep.
And that's our chance to get out of this.
Yep, but you need to have a desire for something more or something different in order to be willing to open to that. So the sacrifice of death is nothing lost, because this world is death. So how could sacrificing this world be a value? It's nothing. An idol cannot take the place of God. And we can plug it in there all we want, but it's never going to replace God.
Special relationships.
Well, yeah. And thank goodness it's set up in a way we can't fail, but it could take us a while. Let him remind you of his love for you, and do not seek to drown his voice in chants of deep despair to idols of yourself. And a lot of the the game here is whining about how horrible things are, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, like, people, when they talk, they want to tell you over and over again what happened and how this happened, and look at that asshole and
Yep.
believe it. And I know I have a friend who I call from time to time who virtually starts writing, and I get on the phone, she's telling me that this happened and that happened,
Yep.
and that SOB did this, and I'm like, oh, and then a few times, because I'm still asking, like, should I stay on the phone with this person? I ask God the whole time, what the hell, what am I doing with this, talking to this person?
Mhm.
And I listen, and then I pop up with something that they can't, I just say something that's in my head without accusing her.
Right.
Which is peace. I mean, somehow there's peace in what I say. And then I was, and then get off then after that,
But be aware how much we're drawn to despair. Be aware how much that takes our attention all the time. Or again, going back to being right. We think being right is my salvation. Until we realize, not so. Seek not outside your Father for your hope. It's reminding us, don't seek outside for what you're looking for within. For
if
hope,
it brings up a battle in you, you're going the wrong way.
well,
That's a-
usually if it brings up a battle in you, you're not convinced that what we're reading today, because you think that I'm right and I have there's something justified and valuable with what I have
And
to
then,
contribute.
when it brings up some kind of, oh no, in me, I go, okay, that must not be it because I'm upset. I don't like it. It's my opinion, it's my ego's opinion of what's happening instead of
Yes.
what I really want.
Right. Seek not outside your Father for your hope, for hope of happiness is not despair. And our whole life and all the situations that come up in our life to, filter this through. Am I whining and complaining and upset about anything that's of despair? Well, yeah, that's what I do all the time. And why do I choose that and put God under the bus?
What is it? Hope for happiness is not despair.
No, hope for happiness isn't, in other words, he's saying, if you really want happiness, you can't play in the arena of despair. Right. Okay. All right, so we're going to turn to text 619. And I forgot to write the page, section V111 and the Antichrist. I don't know if somebody wants to, does anybody have their book that they can turn to the page?
On 619.
Oh, well, that, duh. Thank you, Andrea. Okay. I did say, yeah, and then I'm looking at that. Okay. All right. This is called the Antichrist. And we did talk a tiny bit last week about the Antichrist, but I thought we'd add a little more fun to that. All right. So what is an idol? Do you think you know? For idols are unrecognized as such and never seen for what they are. That is the only power they have. Their purpose is obscure, and they are feared and worshiped both because you do not know what they are for and why they have been made. An idol is an image of your brother that you would value more than what he is. Idols are made that he may be replaced, no matter what their form. And it is thus that never is perceived and recognized, be it a body or a thing, a place, a situation, or a circumstance, an object owned or wanted, or a right demanded or achieved, it is the same. So again, what is an idol? Do you think you know? Well, you don't know. I think most of us think an idol is, like the fatted calf or whatever, the golden calf, whatever they did. I know growing up, I thought that was an idol. And I thought, well, I don't do that. I don't know what, but right, exactly, right, right. But this is saying literally anything in front of God's face is an idol. So and as that last line says, where did it go? be it a body, a thing, a place, a situation, or a circumstance, an object owned or wanted, or a right demanded or achieved. It's all the same. So we got lots to work on, guys, because we all have lots of different idol forms that show up in our lives. For idols are unrecognized as such and never seen for what they really are. So I don't even know what an idol is what he's telling us. That is the only power that they have. So if I'm unaware of what the idols are and why I put them there, then why would I possibly want to remove them? Because I don't even know they're a problem. Their purpose,
That's how you're victimized by them.
well,
Or
yes.
you think you're being victimized by what you like, what, oh, God, we saw that chocolate, that's killing
Right,
me.
yeah, but it's not.
Not my choice, it's the
Yep.
chocolate.
And this is saying, again, no matter what it is, whether it's the chocolate or whatever bazillion different things that can be that idol that's in front of my face, when I'm working with this, I have to drop the idol and go up to the thought system that's running the picture that appears to be the chocolate. As long as I'm playing with chocolate, I'm never going to get the answer because the answer doesn't come here. The answer comes by recognizing it appears that the chocolate's my problem because this is engaged. And it doesn't matter, and this is a hard thing for many people to wrap their heads around. It doesn't mean if I'm concerned about the chocolate or if I'm concerned about someone bombing my house or any of the other things that can happen in this world that can seemingly take my peace away. And it's hard to, the Course talks about there's no hierarchy of miracles because it can happen with any form in this world. But it takes a little adjustment period for most people to get the idea they're all the same. Because wait a minute, I can't ask the Holy Spirit for this. Well, with the chocolate, maybe I could, but not this one.
Hierarchy of illusions.
Yep, but there are
That's not
none.
miracles.
No, oh, did I say
These
that
are
right?
miracles.
Oh, okay, you're right, of illusions. I apologize.
No, it's not miracles.
No, but miracles can be achieved no matter what they are as well. All right, so for idols unrecognized as such and never seen for what they really are. So we really have to get underneath the concept of idols to really understand how deeply meshed we are with all the idols that each of us carry. And some of our idols look different from one person to another. So pick on the ones that you quickly go into.
It's
And-
anything between you and God.
Anything between you and God. Yep. Anything. 24 hours a day, anything.
Yeah, everything between you and God.
Yep. That is the only power that they have, and they have the power to control you because you don't know what they're for and why they've been set up that way. Their purpose is obscure, and they are feared and worshiped both. How cute is that? Because you do not know what they are for and why they have been made. So it's again, the setup of the ego is we have been duped into believing this storyline based on a lie, and we have accepted that as our reality, and that's what keeps running the show.
So even achieving a promotion at work is an idol.
Absolutely.
Well, your reaction
Right.
to, what thoughts and beliefs about the promotion is the idol. It's not the actual promotion itself.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't work towards getting,
If I think
promotion.
it's my salvation,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And look at in subtle ways, and I use this example, if somebody, let somebody in traffic and, you do it because you want to do it, and then they don't wave, look at how that affects you. Something as ridiculously silly as that is, because I want someone to know that I'm here.
Peace to such
Rather-
foolishness.
Absolutely. And smile and go, oh my gosh, there I go again.
I feel bad with the speed limit thing, it's like 25, and then I was going 25 and it did say thank you. I was like, because it usually says thank you, and I really.
Yes.
Unplugged it.
Wow. You hold your idol, hold your idol to. Your idol is
But be aware if that's how weak we are, literally weak we are, that we need that kind of an affirmation to have something or someone pat us on the back to tell us we're okay. You know, and not that I'm saying that it's not nice to have those, or if you're in kindergarten, they put a star on your paper or whatever, but be aware that's how little we are.
It's still just asking God for special favor.
Yeah,
that he won't
always.
give.
And he wouldn't give it to us, not because he doesn't love us, because he doesn't know that you have a problem. Yeah, all interesting.
So the stores I go to now, at the end of your stay, they want you to, log in, and if you had a good time here, let everybody know that. And it's like, I guess our world is becoming more and more.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, world to back us up somehow more
Yeah.
and more. And how you're just gonna have to do that. You have to get a computer if you wanna keep up with everything
Yeah.
like that. You know, I'm like, well, or even, I remember, well, this plumber we had conversations about different things, and after, during 9/11, when they had all these, not 9/11, with all the first responders, they were like, give them, tell them that they're doing good and all that. And the man said to me, he said, but, they're doing their job. What do they need?
Exactly.
They're just doing their job. They're doing what they do. And so that's interesting how that need to be reinforced and cared for about what you're doing, but it goes like to kindergarten, did I do it right and did I get a star?
You know, they send out, they send out those surveys, right? And now they're getting entitled in the survey, and they're saying, you have to say more than 6 letters. You're done. You're done. I'm not gonna do your survey.
Well, I get, but then there's the fine line there is that you don't want to do it in a negative. You want to come from a place of lack in yourself and say, why are they, get it on that, then you have taken on that thing on yourself. So you still have to walk that line of peacefulness in terms of what they're doing is what they're doing, and what I'm doing is what I'm doing. And if
I'm doing them a favor,
well, that's,
and they're getting entitled with me, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do you that favor.
So now you're getting entitled with them.
Oh, I guess so.
Nah.
that's-
And you have to keep watching how the strings are
All
attached.
right.
Right, no,
I'm
not in
always
here for
doing
sure.
what I'm accusing you of doing.
Yeah, okay.
There's no way out of that.
Right, and that doesn't mean you don't do it. It
Except
means you
for-
become aware. Look at how this trail just
Right.
keeps pulling, it's like a whip that just keeps pulling it all in.
You do it, but don't get sucked in.
Yeah,
Well, but you get sucked in and then you have to get sucked out. That's
Right.
all. You have to
That's
decide.
the program.
You're just-
That's
you're
it.
in
You're in the
the
program. That's all.
You're
Yeah.
In the program.
Help me to do.
You just
help
have
me
to know this.
know what to do now,
Because we're all doing
differently.
and again, just become aware of how much I think I need something outside of me to fill me up so that I'm okay.
And become aware of how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Because it's seconds.
Right. Oh, yeah, right,
And it's
right,
the
right,
same
right.
thing if you become aware of how much you wish they'd stop doing all that shit and leave you alone. It's, that's the same, it's a separation idea. So you have to let them be them and you be you without any judgment or, right?
Yep.
You have to get back to that.
Whether
That's
you
how,
do it or
that's
you
how. it's
don't
run.
do it.
Get
Get
back
on
with it, get back to it, yeah.
Not about behavior.
No. So paragraph 2, line 4, they have the power to supply your lacks and add the value that you do not have. So I don't believe I have value. I believe that something or someone on the outside can fill me up with their smile or their whatever it is, or their check on my computer with something I said or whatever. That's because I don't believe I'm worthy of love. And if we could kind of flip that around every time we become aware of one of those incidents, is then stop and go, wait, I want to find out who I am so I don't have to drool on every single thing that happens in the world, waiting for an affirmation that I'm okay. That's a heavy load to carry 24 hours a day. And all because I don't remember who I am.
If somebody else tries to do that to you, you have to forgive them, not, still not walk down the path, say, I don't know. Ask Jesus
Well,
for
but
help.
when you're coming from love, you could only give love to your brother. It's an automatic. There can be no other way. And when Jesus died on the cross, from the perspective of the Course, no matter what anybody seemingly did to him, he only emitted love to them. He didn't go, "Oh, well, I didn't like the way you put those nails in. Why did you do this to me? How dare you do that to me?" That wasn't in the picture for him, because he was looking completely through this lens, not this lens. With this lens, it's an automatic, there's going to be a problem, and I'm going to find it, and I'm going to make sure whoever's involved gets their just reward of my wrath. Not the story coming from the other side.
I mean, it's
Done.
interesting how Jesus, if Jesus had said all that stuff to somebody, it would have been a different story, but he didn't. That's why we asked the question, how do you do that?
Well, and maybe he did say it, but then that got discounted. I
Right.
don't know.
How do we, that isn't a story, the story that we need is the one where the truth comes out and he exemplifies that truth.
Yeah. No one believes in idols who has not enslaved himself to littleness and loss. Underline that in all different colors in your book, okay? And I will read it again. No one, that's my reader. No one believes in idols who has not enslaved himself to littleness and loss. So the idols that upset me and take my peace away are coming from the belief that I have littleness and loss. And how did I get littleness and loss? I chose for the opposite of love, and I now believe in lack. And it has nothing to do with if Marianne did it right or Marianne didn't do it right in the world. It comes from this, because if I believe in littleness, my whole world is going to reflect littleness. And I'm going to continually look for it on the outside to be fed, so that I will, for a moment, I think Helene said, how long does that last? For a moment, I'll think I have something and I'll get a little heightened. In 2 seconds, I'm back down to feed me, give me more, give me more, give me more. And believe me, I'm very well aware this takes a lot of shifting around, because we're so used to that. We so cling to the response from others to make us feel okay. And whether it's in a relationship or if it's in any type of situation, it's I want somebody to tell me I'm okay. And it's about time for us to grow up and find out how I really connect with I'm okay. So I'm okay. And then if somebody gives me a compliment, great, I'll enjoy it, but I won't need it to just, grab that last ounce of something out of somebody else so that I feel okay. Totally different response to the situation.
That traffic thing was really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, but look at it. And
They said, yes, you did a good job.
yeah.
Speed
And
limit.
be aware of those little
That's
silly
great.
incidences. It's wonderful. Oh, yeah. And if it's not there, then I feel lost because it's not there anymore. Yeah.
You could even call and say that it's broken.
Yeah, right. Because I need my little affirmation.
It's broken.
All right. And thus must seek beyond his little self for strength to raise his head and stand apart from all the misery the world reflects. I mean, that's how tired we are. We need an affirmation to raise my head for a moment, and then I'm back down to here. And again, look at all the very subtle ways of which this game is being played in your life. And be aware of how hurt you are if someone doesn't say something you think, they don't compliment you or whatever it may be. But also become aware, wait a minute, do I want to stay in this field of energy, I guess, for a lack of a better way to put it, rather than choose to connect with who I am? This is a flag, a red flag that's saying you have another choice here. Do you want to live in this experience forever? Or do you want to try another way? So at that moment, you would have to drop your story of they didn't compliment me with what I did to that place of an empty space and say, okay, Holy Spirit, I want to know who I am so I don't feel like this weak, sick person that can't even hold up my head any longer. This is painful. This is the penalty for looking not within for certainty and quiet calm that liberates you from the world and lets you stand apart in quiet and in peace. So again, he's, trying to take our established world and shake it up, which is very painful. Again, every idol that falls causes pain because I adhere to it, not because it's real, but because I adhere to it. And he's trying to help us, soften those connections, start unplugging a few of the plugs that keep us stuck here. And eventually you'll unplug them all and you'll find yourself awake and you'll go, wow, why didn't I choose this sooner? But again, we have to be gentle and take ourselves exactly where we are in the process. Here holds me and there's no desire to come back again. All right, it's that time. So everybody take a nice big deep breath and let it all go. Forgive us our illusions, Father, and help us to accept our true relationship with you, in which there are no illusions and where none can ever enter. Our holiness is yours. What can there be in us that needs forgiveness when yours is perfect? The sleep of forgetfulness is only the unwillingness to remember your forgiveness and your love. Let us not wander into temptation, for the temptation of the Son of God is not your will. And let us receive only what you have given and accept with this into their minds that you've created and which you love. Amen. So pay attention to your idols, become aware of how many idols you have today that you didn't know you had. And tomorrow you're going to find a whole lot more. All right. And before